Hey there, Capricorn. Welcome to reading for September 2024. You start off with this Yin energy card and this To the Sea card. The Yin energy card is about kind of like just resting, relaxing, recovering, all that other stuff. But the To the Sea card is about kind of going on an adventure. So you could be coming off a period of time where you were kind of resting, relaxing, recovering, taking your time, doing all that other stuff, and you're getting ready to move in new directions, which kind of makes sense. We still have Pluto retrograding back into your sign. I'm doing this video on the 24th of August, and so I'm pretty sure that Pluto is at like 0.1 degrees of Capricorn, or of Aquarius technically, or it's right on the cusp, right? And so it's not quite, it's right on the cusp between Capricorn and Aquarius, and it's not quite retrograded back into Capricorn yet. So again, I think that for a lot of you, there are like things that you've wanted to accomplish, and you're getting closer and closer, and you're kind of getting ready to reinvent yourself, which makes sense with that Pluto, that Pluto energy. I actually feel that things are kind of going to be much, much easier for you at this time. You've already experienced Pluto in your sign. You've already experienced Pluto retrograding back into your sign several times since Pluto has been in your sign. It's a bunch of times, but even over these last couple of years, it's retrograded back into Capricorn several times, a few times. This is the last time, thank God. And so I think that this month is going to be really nice for you. It's like you're used to the energy of having Pluto on your sign, and you're used to having it go into Aquarius and then retrograde back. So I think for you, you could be having a great time. You have the Seven of Pentacles, which is a change in direction. And, again, I've been predicting a big change in direction in the way that you work for a long time, Capricorn. So I think that for a lot of you, the change, one of the big changes that you'll be experiencing is how you work. That doesn't mean that you have to quit your job or anything like that. But again, there could be some power changes in the power structure of where you work, or even if you have a business, you could be gaining power. You could be even giving up power as well. It's like some people, they start a business and they figure out, what, I'm not good as a CEO, right? I need someone to run the business. I need someone to do this, that, or the other thing. So there's a million different things that you could be doing. Of course, you're all different, but the Seven of Pentacles is about seeing, is the juice worth the squeeze? What's worth it? Is there, what is worth it to you to work on so that you can improve your situation, and what is not worth it? And that's what I think you're kind of really thinking about at this time. I'm going to show you here, we have the Two of Cups, Page of Swords, King of Cups, and the Empress. So someone is clearly obsessed with you here, Capricorn, and, I feel like this could definitely be a new love connection. So for those of you that want love, the Two of Cups is great. It's like a perfect match. I think the two of you will have great communication. This is a card of communication right here. This is a staff of Hermes, and it's Mercury, basically, so it just represents communication. Two of Cups is usually a person who's different than your usual type, or different than what you normally go for. Not always true, but I do feel it could be true in this situation. So you could be meeting someone who's different, but definitely would start with great communication. We also go up like this, Page of Pentacles, Page of Swords to the Eight of Wands. The Eight of Wands is also communication. The Page of Pentacles sometimes can represent a message or receiving a message. So, I would be on the lookout for any messages that you're receiving. It looks to me like this is going to be something that starts as communication. So for those of you that want love, definitely love communication. Even if you don't want love, I feel like this, and even if you do, I think if you've been waiting for a job or a business, that this could be approval, or you could be getting messages. I am getting that some of you could be getting a second interview here, and I would really prepare for it. Don't be nervous about it, right? Of course, but anything, the Page of Pentacles is a card of studiousness and learning. So, and I had second interview popping into my head. So if you're getting a second interview, I kind of get the feeling that it's because they really, really liked you, but maybe there's another person that they also really liked. And so I feel just a tiny little bit of preparation, or a tiny little bit of, something. I would even do, I'm a big fan of tapping, right? So even just tapping out your nerves, right? Or, tapping for confidence. I'm sure if you search on YouTube, there's probably a tapping video for interviews, right? And so I think like just a tiny little prep will, really help you hit this out of the park. And, obviously that's not going to resonate with all of you, but for some of you it is. So again, if you're like getting a second interview, I would do it. I think, it's a good idea. And I also think that you will get the job if like just a little bit of prep, right, is all you need. So there you go. Let's see. With the Seven of Pentacles, you have the Sun. Love it. Things are growing. I literally feel this is just saying that things are starting to grow for you this month. So, I think you could notice better finances. I also, I said this to you in your end of the year reading. I just did the rest of 2024, the last set of readings, or last weekend, whatever it was. And I'm pretty sure I said to you that, you've experienced like trying to get things to grow and then they don't grow. And that's also one of the big changes I think you're going to notice, especially when we get to November, when Pluto officially moves into Aquarius. But I also think you're going to start noticing it right now, that you put work into something, it actually grows. It actually, gets some legs. Things start moving forward. Really nice. With the Two of Cups, yes, definitely communication. Whenever a card repeats itself, it's basically the universe saying I meant what I said. So I think that this could be a person where you start as communication. With the Page of Pentacles, you have the Six of Cups. Yeah, really good. I mean, again, for those of you that want love, this is definitely like a really solid connection, I feel. The Six of Cups, some people say it's someone coming back from the past, but really the Six of Cups is a card of like innocence and nostalgia. It just represents thinking about the past. It doesn't necessarily mean that a person is coming back from the past. What I will say is that in your next row, you have this closure card. So for some of you, you have this intuition and this closure card right here. And for some of you, there could be a person communicating for closure purposes. And, again, I'm not here to tell you whether you should communicate with this person or not. It's like some people do deserve closure and then other people don't. It's like, obviously if this person was a jerk the entire time you were with them and they're coming back for closure, too freaking bad. It's like they should have known that they shouldn't be a jerk, right? So, again, it's up to you what you do with that. But again, I do feel some of you, could be having a person come back for closure purposes. Also seems to be a very intuitive time, so your intuition could definitely be on fire, and I would pay attention to your intuition. I always like to remind Capricorn that, in traditional Vedic astrology, you are the crocodile. You are not the sea goat, right? And so you are a crocodile. In Vedic astrology, crocodiles are sit and wait predators. They wait for the perfect moment to strike, and then they strike, right? And there's something popping into my head here about kind of like waiting for the perfect moment. Normally, I tell people don't wait for the perfect moment because there never will be a perfect moment. That's not how life works. But what I am saying is that for some of you, if you are working towards like a project, a business, or whatever, like what's popping into my head is to make sure you have like all your ducks in a row. All these cups behind him are in a row, like they're neatly arranged, right? And I would never pay attention to that on the Nine of Cups, right? That's not something that stands out to me, but it's really standing out to me in your reading. So I think like if you're working on a project or a business, like as long as everything is in alignment with itself, whatever the main goal of whatever you're working on is, then I think that this is saying you will get what you wish for, right? The Nine of Cups is a wish. So anything that you're working towards, as long as everything is in alignment, you'll be good. And there's something here about like double checking it or just making sure. Same thing, maybe you're going for a second interview and maybe there's something you didn't put on your resume, and maybe you could present them with another resume that is updated, and you could say, oh, I didn't give you my updated resume, and you could do something like that. But I feel like there's something about your ducks being in a row with the Nine of Cups. You have the Page of Swords. I feel like someone's obsessed with you here for sure. I definitely get that someone is, it's like you are someone's perfect person. It's like everything, everything that they desire. It's like you. So, again, I think someone has their eye on you or someone is interested in you. This could also be you. So take it how it resonates. Like maybe you have a person that is your perfect person, or you see them as something that you would really like. And, the Page of Swords is just curiosity. What I will say is that I do feel that there will be communication here. So, again, normally with the Page of Swords, I would just say it's like someone who's watching you, but they're not really taking action to do anything. But I do feel this person or you will take action. You have the Three of Swords. Yeah, again, I would be very careful of a past person returning. I kind of get the sense that you could be quite popular this month. And so, again, like whenever you meet new people, of course, the exes come out of the woodwork, right? So maybe you need to like block a person, especially if they really hurt you. Again, you do have the closure card. So, this could provide a little bit of forgiveness. I don't look at the Three of Swords as a bad card necessarily. It can represent a heartbreak, but those three swords are in your own heart, and the Three of Swords represents removing those swords from your own heart so that you can heal. So again, if you do receive closure, if someone says something to you, forgiving the situation could really set you free and allow you to move on to someone new. With the Nine of Cups, you have the Four of Swords. Yeah, more resting, relaxing, recovering. We are still in the shadow of the Mercury retrograde for a little bit of time at the beginning of the month. So if you feel tired, get rest. If you feel like you need extra sleep, get extra sleep. All that other stuff. Yeah, with the Page of Swords, you have the Three of Swords. What's really interesting as well is I kind of feel like this is a person who might blame you for the heartbreak, even if they caused it. So again, I will stress it again. I'm like the only reader on YouTube that says don't go back to the past. I'm the only one that says do not go back to exes, right? And so again, I fully support you blocking the crap out of this person and making sure that they can't contact you, because sometimes it's like maybe we think we want closure, but maybe the closure a person provides hurts more. So again, it's like, do you really want to hear what this person did, or do you really need closure, is what I would say. It's like I think sometimes we think we need closure, but really we don't, right? Like really, what are we hoping for, is what I would say. But again, there would be nothing wrong with you forgiving yourself or forgiving the situation in your own heart. That's what the Three of Swords is all about. With the Three of Swords, you have the Nine of Cups, which is fulfillment. I think you're more fulfilled on your own. Nine of Cups is also kind of a card of independence, just like the Nine of Pentacles. It's not like 100% accurate, but he is sitting there on his own. He has all those cups behind him, and he could fulfill himself whenever he wants. Those cups exist behind him. So I think that for a lot of you, maybe one of the lessons that you've learned over, I kind of feel like over the past few relationships that you've been in, even if you don't want love anymore, I think the important thing is that you've learned how to fulfill yourself. Like you've learned how to take care of yourself and answer your own needs, and of course that's going to be really important. Next, in the area of messages from your future self, you have this Elephant spirit says learn from the past. You have this Dove spirit says be peace on it. So we see a lot of peace in this reading. You have that Yin energy card, Four Swords. You have this card that says be peace on it. Again, I think the Elephant card is saying, of course, don't, take forward, the traumas necessarily, but you can learn from the mistakes that were made. You can learn from the things that you didn't say. You can learn from the things that were said as well in connections, and you can take that knowledge and apply it to new situations, and that's what the Elephant is kind of saying. The Elephant is also a very lucky card in this deck, so, could be increasing your luck. You have the Eight of Wands, the King of Cups, and the Ten of Wands. Eight of Wands is like quick success or growth, and we see a lot of growth in this reading as well. You also end with the Empress, which is amazing. So like I said, I think you're finally really kind of focused on growth and getting things to grow in your life, probably because things are actually working for once in your life, Capricorn. Like, you're not necessarily, working on a project and then not getting any result. I think that at the very least, you are getting a decent result based off of the things that you're working on. And you could be working on anything: health, wealth, happiness, your relationship, spirituality, all the things that you work on. I think you're starting to actually get some forward progress, where, again, in the past, I think what you're used to is like forward progress and then going way backwards, right? Now that you have learned from the past, Pluto's in Capricorn was in Capricorn for like 16 years or whatever, and now I think what's happening is that you have learned the lessons, and so you can make things more permanent, right? And I think that's what the Eight of Wands is really talking about in your reading, is creating permanent situations, business and health, in your work, whatever. You have the King of Cups. Definitely could be attracting a King of Cups type person. I feel, yes, this is a water sign, but you also have a lot of earth and you have fire showing up in your reading as well. So it could be any sign. The King of Cups is usually very tapped in to his emotions. He understands how he feels about, pretty much everything that he's doing. So you could be attracting a very emotionally stable person. I also feel that you have been working on your emotional stability, which is also a great thing. I also think you've been working more on your stress, like how stressed out you feel when you do anything. And I feel that a lot of you are getting better at dealing with stress. Next, you have the Ten of Wands. So very busy. Again, I do think there's love here, but I also do feel that, there's also a lot of motivation. Let's put it that way. So sometimes I think, especially Capricorn, I think when something works, you really kind of latch onto it like a crocodile, right? When a crocodile gets a deer or something for food, it really sinks its teeth in and it doesn't let go. And so I think that you are very focused on work at this time because you're probably getting better results, or you will be doing this. And I just feel like the Ten of Wands is saying, make sure to carve out some time for other things that you want. With the Eight of Wands, you have the Seven of Swords. I definitely wouldn't trust a past person here at all, period. I think that if this is a past person, you have like two people here, multiple people in the reading in general. I feel like there's a new person that's coming in for you, but I also feel that there could be a message from a past person. And again, I think this person is still probably a liar, right? Yeah, with the King of Cups, you have the King of Pentacles. This person is serious right here. I feel like the King of Pentacles is a great card for love, because it represents a person who wants to make things work, a person who actually wants to put the work in, and a person who kind of like has certain goals, or has certain things that they want to achieve. So I would be careful of this past person, and I would definitely only focus on the new person. Can't make this up either. With the Ten of Wands, you have the Two of Pentacles. Literally what I was saying. What I was saying is carve out time for fun on that Ten of Wands. And Two of Pentacles is work hard, play hard. So you need to make sure that you're not only working. Again, I totally understand it. That I think that what's going to happen for you this month, and I think this is energy that's just starting this month. Like this is going to continue for a while. Is that you're going to be if you have business ideas or work ideas, it's like they're going to work. So because they're working, I feel like it's motivating you to work more, which really there isn't anything wrong with that. But at the same time, make sure that you're having a little bit of fun. Make sure you're doing things that you want to do. Next, you have this Moon Memories. It says the past on it. You have this Moon Cycles. It says patience on it. So you definitely could be dealing with a situation from the past. Again, as I always say, I fully support those of you that definitely do not want to go back to the past. So, but again, that doesn't mean that a person isn't going to try to come back from the past. You have so many past cards in this reading. It's crazy. So again, some of you could definitely be dealing with something from the past. Plain and simple, I see you moving right on from it and letting it go. So I think you're moving on from it anyway. But again, if you don't want to hear from the past, I would make sure you're blocking the person as much as possible. Of course, people have their ways to still, break through, but, I would do whatever you can if you don't want to hear from them. Six of Swords is kind of like moving on to calmer shores. This is showing up in the good stuff, though, and the good part about the Six of Swords having to do with the past is the fact that they have these swords in the front of the boat. And the swords in the front of the boat kind of represents all the things that they learned, this woman and the child, that they learned from the past. So they are bringing forward like the lessons, the knowledge, the wisdom, the things that they learned, and that's making them successful on a new beginning. So they're having a new beginning. They're heading towards those calmer shores, which is, they're hoping is just an improvement based off the past, right? They don't actually know. They are completely starting over. And, again, they are bringing everything they learned with them. So they're not starting from scratch. And again, I think that's like the best part of the Six of Swords for you. You have the Empress. The Empress is about total abundance and increasing your abundance. So definitely an increase in your abundance. I also feel like a lot of attention for you this month. So again, you could notice that you have like multiple people who are interested in you. And of course, as people get interested in you, your ex is going to get interested in you again, or it could be multiple exes for some of you. Again, with the Empress, I would put up healthy boundaries. And also what I would say is, keep focusing on nurturing yourself. I think that Nine of Cups really also is about like nurturing and caring for yourself and being able to fulfill yourself, which seems to be like a big lesson that you have learned over the past many years. So, there you go. You have the Five of Pentacles. Five of Pentacles is coming up in the good stuff. So again, I think that you are getting much better results in the things that you work on or the things that you create, like financially. So your finances definitely seem to be improving. Can't make this up. With the Six of Swords, you have the Two of Cups. So heading towards a new connection, right? Heading towards something new. With the Empress, you have the Devil. The Devil is coming up in the good stuff, which would say you're conquering the devil. This could also say that you have conquered your bad habits or the things that do hold you back so that you can be in Empress mode. It is also your card, so showing up as yourself in the good stuff is, of course, a good thing. With the Five of Pentacles, you have the Three of Wands. Yeah, I think you're much more excited for the future. Three of Wands is like the future. It's a card of expansion and growth. And it's also a card of having an adventure. You start with that Two of the Sea card, which has a boat on it. And there are 3 boats on the Three of Wands. The boats on the Three of Wands represent going on an adventure. Or, really they kind of represent stepping into the unknown. He is going somewhere where he has never been before. And, again, I think that, of course, this is a good thing. You have this fair woman. It says dealings or relationships with a woman with blonde, gray, or white hair. And you have this bat. It says take care. Enemies are working against you. I would be careful of a person. What I'm hearing is, like, I feel like, even though I'm not saying you dated a woman, it could be any gender. This is a general reading. But I feel like this person was really their own worst enemy, is what I'm getting off of these 2 cards. Like, they just create a lot of problems in their life. So I think that if you have multiple past people, the person that could be coming back is the person that creates a lot of problems, but they create a lot of problems. So I would definitely avoid that person at all cost. You have this grasshopper. It says situation in the balance that requires careful handling. I feel like this card should say your situation is in the balance, or is in the balance that requires careful handling. 9 of Cups. I would maintain your 9 of Cups. What things fulfill you? What things can you go to that can make you happy? What things can you go to that can provide you with love when you need love, when you don't have it, right? And that's how I always think of the 9 of Cups. It's about really creating an environment around yourself where you understand the activities that you can do to make you feel a certain way. And, I always get tons of comments of people that say, I don't know what makes me happy. And I always tell those people, go try stuff. Go try a hobby. Go try something that you think is interesting. You have to figure it out, right? It might be watching movies. It might be watching a certain TV show. It might be whatever. But, again, I would bring your life into balance more by kind of like figuring out what makes you happy, what makes you feel abundant, what makes you feel loved, what makes you feel healthy. The list goes on and on. You have this table. It says hard work ahead. Yes, this is hard work you want to do. I feel like you are very, very motivated with that 10 of Wands. That 10 of Wands feels very good to me, even though, again, I wouldn't just work. I would make sure that, yes, I think you're like the crocodile that's grabbed onto something and you found something that maybe is working for you this month, even financially, and it's probably going to make you want to be a Capricorn and make you want to work more, but I would make sure that you balance it out. You have this fair man. It says dealings with relationships with a man with blonde, gray, or white hair. And you also have this tiger. It says doing something risky or taking a chance. I think this should say that a new person is the person that you should take a risk on. Now, of course, I always say that I think we're in a time in relationships where we should take our time, where we should really pay attention to what people say and then pay attention to the evidence. If they say one thing and they do it, whatever they said, great, keep going. If they say one thing and they don't do it, then don't keep going. So pay attention, but definitely could be a good new person. You have this bear. It says danger, especially in money matters. I feel like your money looks amazing in this reading, so I wouldn't even worry about it, but I would pay attention, right? I think, I say to pretty much every single sign that we are definitely in a time where I believe we should be paying attention to everything that we're doing with our finances. We shouldn't be wasting money and all that other stuff. So, that really pay attention. But this looks really, really good, Capricorn. I love where this is going. So thank you for being here and definitely enjoy your week.